Hello and welcome to another Puzzling Time video. At the end of this video I'm going to do the foldology draw, so if you're interested in that please wait till the end and I'll do the draw. But for now I'm going to talk about unicorns. Not just everyday unicorns you see romping in the fields, but I'm talking about puzzle unicorns, much more elusive animal. These unicorns are puzzles that collectors and solvers have been trying to get hold of for quite some time. Sometimes they can be very rare puzzles, such as the butterfly lock by Will Strebos. Sometimes they're expensive, like the butterfly lock by Will Strebos. Or they're out of production, like the butterfly lock by Will Strebos. But other times, they can just be puzzles that you've been wanting to get hold of and they weren't mass produced, or they're not produced anymore and everyone's already collected them and they just don't come on the market very often. Recently, one of my unicorns, which was P4, I've been able to play with it a recent MPP, which I was very happy about. Another one of my unicorns for quite some time was this, Tern by Khiam, produced by Cubic Dissection. Although there was quite a few produced, it didn't come on the market that often, and when it did it was very expensive. So I was lucky to get hold of one at a very reasonable price. Now, Cubic Dissection, synonymous with Eric Fuller, is usually known for their wooden puzzles. In fact, I've got quite a few wooden puzzles by Cubic Dissection. I will be showing off some of those. But this is one of their acrylic puzzles. The idea of this puzzle is to remove the shackle from the box. Now it's an N-array puzzle, so it's not particularly difficult to solve, but there is a pattern to it that you have to go through. And it's a nice N-array pattern in that it's not too long or too tedious, but you do have to think as you go through it. So what I want to do is actually solve this one on the channel today and just show you my thinking and my understanding of this puzzle. So to start off with, we have two cutouts on the left and the top, which these sliders can slide in and out of. These sliders 1, 2, 3 and 4, the horizontal sliders. There are 6 vertical sliders, and there are also as well as the sliders here, the shackle actually moves up and down. So if you were to slide the first slider across at the top, it becomes quite apparent actually that you can't really do much from that point. The idea is not to slide it all the way across, but just part of the way across, just to lock this first slider in place on the right hand side, and it frees up the option of moving this first slider up and down. The second one goes part of the way across, then top slider back to the left. The right hand side of the first set goes across and down. So I've now got this slider on the right hand side. Now I can move this slider out of the way and I can come almost all of the way out of the puzzle. So I have to do the same now with the next set. However, to do the next set, I'm going to have to move this slider up, which means this middle slider is going to have to go all the way to the right. And to do that, I'm going to have to reverse a lot of that early work that I did. Now usually you do N-arrays in nice, peaceful, quiet situations. They're quite a nice puzzle to do and you don't have to talk. Let's just see. So I managed to put this second slider all the way to the left, which means this, oh, not quite all the way to the left. Now it's all the way to the left. So this one can move up. And I've got my third slider all the way to the right. Okay, let's move this second slider out of the way. These are all steps that we've done before. A bit finicky at this angle. There we go. And now I've got my slider, my shackle, 3/4 of the way out. So just this last one to go. And as you would expect, I've now got to get this bottom slider to the right, and there's no easy way of doing that other than repeating lots of steps. So I've got to get this slider all the way to the left, which means I've got to undo the work I've done on the second slider, which means I've got to undo the work I've done on the top slider. So let's don't usually have any issues with this sticking, which does seem a little bit finicky today. There we go. Partly down, use this gap here. And it can be very difficult with these puzzles not to kind of lose track of where you are or what you're trying to do, especially when describing the moves. So again, we have to go back again. So this idea of repeating steps over and over is what gives it the name N array. Now the second shackle's all the way to the right, it will allow me to put it into the small gap on the right hand side, and I'm almost there. That's my third one. So if I can just slide this back, which shouldn't take too long. Just repeat those last few steps with this sticking top slider. There we go. I'll have to look at what kind of stuff I can use to kind of free that up. And then once back, I think, for that second slider. Is that right? See, I've lost track now of what I'm trying to do. Let's see. So this needs to go to the left. Okay. Very easy to kind of lose what you're doing with these puzzles and end up repeating steps over and over. If you don't believe me, go and watch some other well-known solvers doing N array puzzles and you'll see. There we go. That's the key out. I'm not going to bore you with the putting the key back in, but I'll just reverse that process. Really nice N array in that it's fairly quick. You do have a little bit of thinking to do, but not too much. And although it might not be the world's greatest puzzle and it's a little bit kind of finicky, it's just something that I think looks really nice. It looks really interesting. It's a pit design, which I think is fantastic. The cubic dissection construction, which I know is fantastic. So definitely, you know, worth getting hold of. And what I really like to know is, what are your unicorns? What are the puzzles that you want to purchase or buy or play with or solve? So please write below what your unicorn is, and I'll let you know if I've seen it or if I've played with it. I reply to all the comments below. I'm going to say goodbye for now, but if you stick around for a few seconds, you'll also see me do that draw. Speak to you all soon. Hello, ignore the poor video quality here. This is just the way I'm recording my computer screen. I'm about to spin and find out who's the lucky winner of our foldology puzzles. And it's spinning and it's stopping on Brian Goodstein. Well done, Brian. Okay, so Brian, if you want to drop me an email on the email currently displayed on the screen now, that'd be fantastic, and I'll get these sent across to you as soon as possible. Thank you. I look forward to seeing you all again very soon. Bye for now.